All right, yesterday, President Trump, he laid it out there. He's going to postpone some of the strikes on Iran to negotiate.
We're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody, as good as if we just literally annihilated the place. But we don't have to do that. That would be a good thing, not a bad thing.
Well, that right there put a big smile on the stock market's face. To talk a little bit more about this, Steve Cotton, a financial strategist, on where this may take everything now. Steve, welcome in. Thanks for being here.
Well, good morning, JT.
We've certainly talked about the emotional roller coaster ride that is, in fact, the stock market and Wall Street. The emotions fly, the stock market goes crazy. So that's good and bad, depending on what happens in the emotional cycle. So this one is a good day, as oil prices, I think, got down to the upper 80s. Now they're back to low 90s per barrel. But with this pause, I mean, there's some good news there. The optimistic attitudes are flowing right now. So your thoughts on the market, its movement, and where it may end up moving again?
Well, the markets are moving out of emotional expectations, but they've been whipsawed around back and forth. When President Trump launched this war against Iran to try to destroy their military offensive capability, there were plentiful oil supplies throughout the world, lots of excess production. And so we're just now seeing impact on supplies just now, not from the start of the conflict. But all of this is psychological. And one of the things we're seeing, I think, is President Trump is playing psychological warfare with the Iranians. He's signaling a willingness to talk, while at the same time he's moving amphibious assault ships in position for Marines to take and seize and control Iranian's Karg Island, which is through which 90% of Iranian crude exports flows.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that in mind, the Iranian leaders are saying, what negotiations? We're not talking to anybody about anything as far as calming down here. And they continue to fire their missiles and are having some success in Tel Aviv, as we just heard from Trey Yingst a little bit earlier this morning. Let's talk about, one of the big questions I hear from a lot of people, if we're so self-sufficient with our oil here in the United States and we don't really count on the Middle Eastern oil like other countries do, why are prices at the gas pump for premium at $5 a gallon?
Well, it's a good question because there's been a delay between the onset of all of this and the impact on prices. But all this is anticipatory. The oil markets don't know how long this conflict is going to last, doesn't know whether it's going to escalate or not. And Trump, frankly, has sent mixed signals. But I think it's all about trying to negotiate with both the Iranians and also reassure the oil markets. Now, one of the things that is a factor here is Iranian government chaos. We don't really know who is in charge. We don't know whether there's a split between the more aggressive Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps and the clerics, or whether they're still on the same page. But the one consistent factor we know in dealing with the Iranians is they lie, they distort, they misrepresent. They're never going to signal publicly they're ready for negotiations, which to them is like surrender. And I'm not convinced that they will ever negotiate in good faith.
Well, biblically, I think you're spot on there. I don't think that this thing is ever going to be the way we would like to see that, as far as westernized people get to vote for who they want and they stop killing their own people in the streets. It's just too insane for too long now. With this whole situation with Persia now, the current day Iran. And, it's been going on, and biblically it says until Christ comes back, this conflict will continue, and it just changes into, the intensity levels seem to be the only thing that really changes on Iran and the rest of the world having to deal with their crap. So, yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that the president gets something done here and Iran calms down, but still, being the head of the snake when it comes to terrorism and all the proxies around the globe, the head's got to come off and it's got to be gone. So I don't know what that looks like long term.
JT, I'm actually cautiously optimistic. President Trump has consistently throughout his career, politically and otherwise, has made bold moves. And if he is able to achieve regime change in Tehran, that could set the stage for a long-term period of peace and economic development among all the Arab states, with the Iranians, who are Persians, it could set the tone for an expansion of the Abraham Accords. There's all good things that can come from this.
Sure.
And the other part is it also puts pressure on China to operate peacefully with the West, because they've got rare earth minerals that they can potentially sequester from us. We have control of their oil flow.
Oh, yeah. The geopolitical world would be amazingly changed for the better.
That's right. That's right. So be a little bit cautiously positive is my message.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I hope we can get it done. And if anybody can get it done, it's this president for sure.